Timothy Bradley said, and I just watched the YouTube video of Timothy Bradley, and he had some spicy words, some hot takes from the Pacquiao versus Barrios fight. And this is what he said, okay? He said Pacquiao should retire. No one deserves to win in the Pacquiao versus Barrios fight, and it was just a high-level sparring. We're going to react to this. We're going to play Timothy Bradley's video, and we're going to kind of check every word that he say and react to it. Is it true? Okay, so we'll react to it right now. Let me just do not a long intro, a short intro. Please share, like, and comment. Let me just share this around first. I'm doing this live because I want to go ahead and give you my honest opinion and kumbaga, the opinion, that's coming from my heart without really, thinking too much about it. Here's my true reaction to what Timothy Bradley just said. And Timothy, if you're watching, I'm going to try and speak more English in this video. I hope you can listen to this, and I hope we could have a collaboration soon. But I disagree with some of the things that you said.
Here comes the boom, boom, pow, Powcast Nation, stand up now. Get ready for the truth, Powcast, the pioneer, the original Pow. Sports updates, join Powcast Nation. Powcast Sports #1. Powcast Sports, the #1 independent sports voice in the Philippines.
Powcast Sports. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Okay, should I start with the Inggit Pikit? I don't know. Let me ask the question first. Before I play the video, sa mga nanonood at nakikinig po dito, sa tingin nyo ba inggit lang si Bradley? Di naman siguro, no? Maybe he's saying the truth. But let me ask you first. Sa mga baguhan po dito, sa mga nakikinig, I hope you guys are all safe. I know it's raining cats and dogs in the Philippines, and it's flooded everywhere. But today we're gonna. It's a little bit cold, kaya nakakot ako. But today we're gonna make it hot and spicy. Speaking of hot and spicy, Michael Dasmariñas fighting on July 25. So soon na po yan. So, woo, mainit. Have you seen the video of Timothy Bradley? Have you seen it, guys? Has anyone seen the video? Because it made me a little bit. I didn't go live last night. I rested because it felt like a rainy kind of like slacking weather. Like you don't want to do anything. But right now, I'm not supposed to go live. But I just saw this video of Timothy Bradley that was posted 6 hours ago on his channel. Maybe he's trying to grow his channel, so. You might want to subscribe to Timothy Bradley's YouTube channel and see for yourself. But right now, let's talk about this. What irked me, though, is that, he might have some truth to what he said, but the way he said it makes me feel that there's some kind of maybe insecurity, maybe is envy. He said Pacquiao should retire. No one deserves to win. Really? No one deserves to win? Pacquiao and Barrios is just a high-level sparring, and you're blaming it on Pacquiao? You're blaming it on Pacquiao? Who's not engaging? I mean, Pacquiao was there trying to make something happen, and you blame him? Of course, Pacquiao is no longer the same as he was. Who would be at the age of 46? But, it looks like Timothy Bradley speaking for himself when he say Pacquiao couldn't do it anymore. Pacquiao is not the same. Obviously, he's not the same, but, maybe he's speaking for himself because he couldn't do it anymore. But without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to what Tim Bradley is saying, okay? Let me play it a little bit, okay?
Yo, Tim Desert Storm Bradley.
What's up, Tim? How you doing, Tim? You okay? You're not happy with the win? Okay.
Boxing Hall of Famer. You already
Yes,
know
sir.
what it is.
Respect to the Hall of Famer. Of course, Timothy Bradley fought Pacquiao thrice. Not one, not two, but 3 times. You know what happened? First fight, Lola Bob helped him. No, first fight, that was a close fight. And then the second fight and the third fight, you know what happened to that, Tim, right? You know what happened? Should I remind Team Bradley what happened the second, the third fight? First fight, you won by a split decision. And the second fight back in 2014, You lost by a unanimous decision. Third fight back in 2016, you lost again by a unanimous decision. Yeah, that's right, Tim. That's right, Tim. Let me remind you of that, okay? Let me play. Let me continue with this, okay? I'm getting heated already. So, Tim, I hope you're listening, Tim.
Yo, let me recap this Pacquiao fight, man. It wasn't even a fight. It was a bona fide sparring session. That's what it was. I was
Bonafide sparring session. But let me just make sure first that you guys can hear. Can you guys press one if you can hear what Tim Bradley's saying? Can you guys press one first before I reply to this glorified or bonafide sparring session? Can you guys press one first? I want to make sure. Okay, because this is live. I'm reacting to you live. If you cannot hear it, then press something else. Let me just make sure again.
love to see both these guys' contracts.
You like to see the contract? Why? What's wrong with the contract? What do you think would be on the contract for this fight to be uh, what it is? Would the contract be any different? Did the contract say that they should just spar? Is that what you think? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but okay, yeah, we can hear it. Okay, okay. Just wanted to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, all right. Timothy Bradley said this is a sparring session. Whose fault it is? It's not Pacquiao's fault. Pacquiao was in there trying to fight. Pacquiao is there, with all of his battle scars, is trying to get in. It was Barrios who doesn't want to get in. It's not Pacquiao's fault why Barrios doesn't want to come in. Everyone is scared. Everyone doesn't want to engage with Pacquiao because you know what happened when people engage with Pacquiao at any age, they get beaten. Maybe not knockout, at 46 years old, but they get beaten. Probably the reason why it became a draw is because Barrios was just running. I mean, I understand because that's the key to win, and from what I said in the past about the keys to win a Barrios, he's right to do those things, but he wasn't that successful. I mean, the only reason why he probably won that fight because he was running. He was just utilizing his jab with impressive jabs for Barrios. Yes, and yes, Pacquiao was getting hit with those jabs. Well, what do you expect, Tim? What do you expect, Tim?
That's what I would love to see because I didn't see no passion and no intent from Barrios. When Barrios had Pacquiao literally at will. I mean, look, when he decided to come forward and let his hands go, it was easy.
Okay. No passion, no intent, maybe from Barrios. But again, you got to make sure you have to be specific when you're saying. Because it sounds like you're saying that Pacquiao fighting with no passion. I mean, the reason he came back is because he has passion for the game. Tim, you better straighten up your comment, man. It's not Pacquiao's fault why it looks like a sparring session. It was obviously Barrios who doesn't want to engage. Well, he could engage. Maybe he would win. But, there's just Pacquiao. I mean, Barrios was just too cautious fighting Pacquiao. It's not Pacquiao's fault. I don't understand why you want to see the contract. I see passion in Pacquiao. I mean, that's why he's engaging. Maybe, again, he's not the same. He doesn't have the same bounce. He doesn't have the same speed. But the passion, you're questioning the passion. Make sure you direct that to the one side, not to the Filipino side. Because that's why we're all here. That's why we're all watching Pacquiao. Because we believe in him. Right? I don't understand, Tim. Man, you should say better than that. Where is it coming from?
I see a lot of people giving Pacquiao credit. Hey, good job, Pacquiao. You made it 12 rounds with Mario Barrios, all right? Who's considered one of the weakest champions at 147 pounds.
Trying to discredit Manny Pacquiao because Barrios is the weakest champion. I mean, it's okay. I mean, when you say congrats Manny Pacquiao for making it to 12 rounds, you should stop there. You should have just stopped there. You congratulate and then you say something otherwise that will discredit the win, that will discredit the performance of 12 rounds. I'd like to see you do 12 rounds at your age right now, Tim. Again, I'm not a boxer. I'm trying to understand this to the best that I can. But Tim, every human being, I mean, if you're an intellectual, I mean, I'm sure you're an intellectual guy, but the way you said it, it doesn't look like a congratulations. It doesn't look like a real clap to me. It looks like an envy. You congratulate him for lasting 12 rounds at 46 years old, and then you say that Pacquiao's opponent is the weakest link. Maybe he is, maybe he's not, and maybe that's true. But to say that in the same statement, it's not a congratulations. Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me, Tim. Right? It doesn't sound like a congratulations to me. It sounds like, you know, you're envy of Pacquiao for doing these things. Come on, man. Come on. Let's hear that again.
Weakest champions at 147 pounds. Congratulations, congratulations if that's what it was all about. The fight was a draw. Yeah, yeah. I don't think either of these guys deserve to win. Barrios, yes, you're the champion still, bro.
Okay. This is what irked me as well. Tim, no one deserves to win. Okay. Given that I'm a Filipino and I may have a little bit of bias on this one, but no one deserves to win. I mean, did we see two fighters fight? Yes, the judges couldn't make up their mind because it was a close fight. Why it was a close fight? Because two fighters studied each other, and you know that. I mean, you're not new to this type of things. Timothy Bradley, no one deserves to win on this fight. I think as a boxer, for a fact that the draw. I mean, I'm sure you hate a result that's a draw as well. Well, I will agree with you with some of the statement, but no one deserves to win. I think Pacquiao deserves to win in this one. I mean, if you want to give him credit, you give him credit without saying anything else that would discredit the credit. Pacquiao fought there to the best of his ability at 46 years old, and he tried to engage, but Timothy Bradley, Mario Barrios didn't want to. So, think about it that way. I think you're just, I don't understand where this is coming from. But let's go ahead and continue with the comment of Timothy Bradley.
You're not gonna have us belts that long. Seriously, man. You showed so much can belts
Okay.
that long. Seriously, man.
All right, let me
You
let me
showed
repeat that again.
Yes, you're the champion still, bro. You're not gonna have us belts that long. Seriously, man. You showed so much compassion inside that ring with Manny Pacquiao, bro. So much respect, bro. Touching gloves beforehand, touching gloves through the course of the night. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, bro. Like, man, what kind of mentality do you have, brother? You was in there supposed to take this legend out, bro. You supposed to put this legend on your resume, bro.
Okay, well, this one I would agree with Timothy Bradley. I think it's true that Mario Barrios didn't quite show the fire of a Mexican, of an Aztec warrior. And it's kind of valid when he says that, I mean, Barrios did show a lot of respect. I do not know if it's respect, and we do not know because, if I'm Barrios, he was saying how big this game is. But the truth is, I felt like Barrios, the size of the fight or how big the fight was got into him, and maybe that's the reason. I mean, Pacquiao is a legend, and I've been saying this even before the fight. Barrios respects Pacquiao a lot, and hence the reason probably for the fight. But even so, the boxers have they have a job to win. They have the job to beat their opponent, and Barrios didn't do that. Barrios is a champion. Maybe, just maybe, this is the strategy of the real strategy, because everyone's saying that they're gonna try and knock out Pacquiao, cemetery, hospital, and all those type of things. But at the end of the day, Timothy Bradley, your fight with Pacquiao may be a little bit different from most of the fight, but all of the other boxers at any age of Pacquiao, they say that they want to fight, they want to brawl with Pacquiao, but then again changes their mind during the fight. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not about respect. Maybe just Pacquiao still got the snap. Maybe Pacquiao still got the same power. But I would agree with you, Barrios, with that kind of performance, especially the same type of performance that he had with Pacquiao, is not gonna hold that belt for long. That we agree on. Okay, you better make sure. We better make sure we're saying that specific to the boxers, because I don't really like it when Timothy Bradley says there's no passion in this fight, and that's the reason why Pacquiao uh, climbed back inside the ring, because of passion. Yeah, some of you would say money, but money is always money. The cash will always be a part of this. That's why he's a prize fighter, and he deserved those money. And I'm sure you would agree with me with that. Okay.
You know what I mean? And you fought like he was your brother-in-law, bro. For real. Manny Pacquiao, is he back? Hey, it was good to see Manny Pacquiao back in.
Okay. Timothy Bradley said Barrios is fighting his brother-in-law. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. I don't want to react furthermore on that one. I don't know. I mean, maybe Timothy Bradley should ask the coach. Timothy Bradley maybe should confer to Bob Santos first. Maybe this is the strategy, man. Maybe the strategy is to fight with compassion. Maybe the strategy is to fight like this. It's not to engage with Manny Pacquiao, right? I mean, maybe that's the real strategy, and that's why he got the draw. I mean, he could have gotten the win. He could have been a little bit more aggressive, but you need to give credit to Pacquiao for countering the attacks of Mario Barrios. Instead, you look at the negative things.
Inside the ring, but at the same time, Manny Pacquiao, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man, for real. He don't belong inside the ring, man. He doesn't. Yeah, did he throw some comment?
Manny Pacquiao did not belong in that ring. Don't belong in that ring anymore. Right now, yes. I mean, why would you say something like that when you saw a guy, regardless of the age, perform and had it as a draw, at least according to the judges, and was throwing punches with the champion, regardless if he's the weakest champion? What would you say that he doesn't belong in the ring when he lasted 12 rounds in the ring, when people are shouting his name, when everyone else believed that he won? Tim, answer that. He doesn't belong in that ring when people is clamoring to see Pacquiao, when boxers like I'm not gonna name names, but everyone else is saying that he won the fight. I'm not. Are they just saying it because they just wanted to say it because there's a lot of Pacquiao fans? I mean, you watched the fight, right? You've seen the fight. Was it a big fight? Is it a bigger fight than most of the fight that you've seen, team? What's your qualification? What would you say that he doesn't belong in the ring? Because he's old? Because he couldn't do the same thing as he was doing to you? Or to, the fights? Of course it's not going to be the same. Maybe Timothy Bradley is speaking from when he was still active. Of course it's not going to be the same Manny Pacquiao, but to say that he doesn't belong there, why? Did he not punch? Did he not throw in combination that hurts Barrios? Did he not damage the face of Barrios? You say that he doesn't belong there if he couldn't perform. Did he perform? Answer that, Tim. Did he perform? Okay, don't tell me. I mean, he didn't perform the same way as before. Of course. Are you? Come on, man. It's 2025. It's not gonna be the same. Let me continue this.
Combination, yeah, but the combinations weren't sharp like I used to see him. Yeah, I know, understand the excuse. Oh, he's been 4 years out of the ring. He'll get better. He'll get it. He'll get better. He'll get better. Yeah, he's been 4 years out of the ring. Yes, but the combinations weren't sharp. The punches weren't snapping like they usually snap. Balance was a little bit off. And the most important thing, and this is the reason why I
Okay. Before we talk about the most important thing of Mario Barrios, Mario, of Timothy Bradley, Tim. Of course, those things that you mentioned will not be the same. Are you expecting him to be the prime Pacquiao? For a boxing analyst, for a boxer, you should have said something better. Of course, it's not going to be the same. You've been out for 4 years. You're 46 years old. What do you expect, Tim? It's not going to be the same. But is it good enough? Is it good enough to be inside the ring? You answer that question, Tim. Of course, he lasted, right? He almost win. He almost won the fight. I mean, everyone was saying he won. I mean, did he? And take note of this. Did he perform? Did he perform to his age at 46? No. I mean, a lot of younger guys couldn't even last for 12 rounds. The way Pacquiao was fighting. Is the bounce different? Obviously, it's different. Is the speed difference? Obviously, yes. The power difference? Yes. If it was if he was younger, then Barrios would have been knocked out, and that's the reason probably why Barrios still lasted for 12 rounds. But you say that as if it was a negative. It maybe it depends on perspective. I mean, you choose to attack it that way, the negative way. But for me, and many Filipinos and many other analysts, I saw this as a plus. At 46 years old, you can still jump, you can still bounce, you're still as fast as that. You still as your punches still stings like that. Yes, it's obviously not the same, but 46 years old, you gotta give the guy some credit, Tim. He's not. Who's answer this question? At 46 years old, who will be as fast and as strong, as agile as Pacquiao? Right? Who? To those commenting out there, who's as fast, as agile as Pacquiao at 46 years old? Right? You phrase it in a negative way, but the fact is, at 46, Pacquiao went the distance, throwing in almost the same punches. In fact, if you look at the punch stats, he throws in much more power punches than Barrios. So when you say something like, Pacquiao is not the same, he doesn't have the same bounce, he doesn't have the same speed, as a boxer, you should have already known that any boxers would not have the same speed and power at 46 years old. Maybe even worse than Pacquiao, but Pacquiao was in there throwing punches like he was 30. Because when he was 30, he throws in punches like he was 20. Because Pacquiao is a legend. Pacquiao is an exception to the rule. And you know this, Bradley. Let's continue, Brad. Bradley, I'm open to talk, man. Let's have a quick talk. I'm the number one boxing content creator in the Philippines. You know it, and we should have some conversation. I'm just saying as it is. You real talk. I'm doing my real talk here.
Tired from the game. His responsibility defensively
Okay,
is no.
let me back it up a little
The
bit. Okay,
reason why I retired.
the
From
reason
the
why
game,
you retired.
his responsibility defensively is no longer there. He's not reacting to these shots, man. He's getting offense off, but his defense is just terrible, man. It's hard for him to respond to the defensive side of things, man, and that's the reason why I retired.
Okay, Tim. I agree. This is some of the few statement that I would agree with you. Um, Manny Pacquiao's defense, well, it in the first place, Tim, you already know that defense isn't really the strong suit of Manny, right? I think everyone there understand the defense isn't the strong suit of Manny. But you know what's the strong suit of Manny? His durability. And you didn't say that on your statement. Did you say that on your statement? Yes. Pacquiao was getting hit with the jabs. Pacquiao was getting hit with a lot of punches in the fight. Did he ever get hurt? Did he went down in the fight? No. Okay, again, you chose to go to that angle that he doesn't have defense, that his reaction is different, and that's the reason why you retire. Well, the difference probably, Tim, is that you lost the ability to react to the offense or for your defense. Maybe you also lost the ability to take those punches. Pacquiao hasn't. Pacquiao receiving those punches like he was 30 years old. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I mean, maybe it's a good thing because he lost his ability to react to those punches, and you may be right on that. But did he lose his ability to absorb big punches? I don't think so. Right? I do not think so. And that's a positive. Um, Before this fight, we were talking about Pacquiao ability to take punch. We got that. Now that's confirmed. Am I right, Bradley? Am I right? He can still take a punch. He can still take punishment. Of course, we don't want him to take punishment. That's the reason, probably probably the reason why a lot of Filipino fans are saying he should retire because we don't want him to take punishment. We know that he can take it, but in the long run, it might cost him his health. We don't want him to be like the legendary Ali. I'm saying that respectfully. We don't have him to want to have disease by or sickness by the time he's older, because maybe those won't actually affect him right now, maybe in the future. But at 46 years old, he can take punishment. Yes, he might have lost the ability to react to some of the punches. The defense is no longer that good. But in the first place, defense isn't the strong suit of Manny. So you retired because of that. Manny continued to box because he can still take punches and he can still throw them. You should have. Yeah, again, that's your style. You want to go ahead and get some reaction to the fans. You want to go ahead and get the reaction of the Filipino people. You got my reaction. So that's true. His ability to react to punches is different now, but his ability to take punishment still there. Agree? Okay, let's continue.
I started getting hit more and more every time I stepped into that ring, and I'm like, you know what? My time is up. And I'm gonna keep it real. Manny Pacquiao's time has been up. The fact that he's a special type of athlete, he's a legend. He's able to get in there with guys like Mario Barrios, who basically somewhat carried this guy, man.
Okay. Just to be fair with Bradley, I know I started this video a little bit heated with the statement of Timothy Bradley, but yeah, again, honestly speaking, some of us feel that he should retire, nothing to prove. It's just hard to, of course, to say it from the outside. Manny has his own thing. Manny Pacquiao is the kind of fighter and a kind of person that wanted to achieve a different kind of legacy, a higher legacy. Maybe he really wanted to be the number one boxers of all time in the world. Maybe that's his goal. And by doing this, he could be considered as such. Now, I understand where you're coming from. I understand that this is the usual concern of a lot of fans, including Filipinos at 46 years old. Maybe his time was up. He did retire. I mean, I honestly thought the August fight was the last fight. Actually, I would have wanted the Kit Thurman fight to be the last fight because that's a win. But he went back. He fought Ugas. He lost to Ugas. He had some exhibition. I thought it was over because that fight with Ugas, that was really scary. He didn't really look good in that fight. Of course, it was Cramps was being blamed on that fight. We didn't see that kind of issue in this fight with Barrios. I thought it was over, and I'll be happy if it's over. That's no problem. On this one, I'm not gonna argue with you, Tim, but I'm just going to react on the perspective that he doesn't belong in the ring on this fight. I totally disagree. I mean, he's 46. At the age of 46, no boxers or not a lot of boxers are fighting at 46. Only legendary boxers like Manny Pacquiao, Bernard Hopkins, Duran, and others that Foreman, who had been fighting even at to this age. Maybe you have something there. I mean, maybe that's the fact. But if Manny Pacquiao chooses to continue the fight, um, he still can. And I'm now gonna base my opinion on the last fight. So basically, I'm gonna base my opinion on the fight with Barrios. Can he still fight? Can he still take punishment? Does he still have some speed? Again, it's not gonna be the same when he was prime or 4 years ago or 5 years ago. But can he still manage a fight? Yes, we saw that. It's not a maybe, it's a yes. Was it about the age? Was it about the inactivity? Of course, all of those. I'm sure you know that, Tim. Right? Let's continue.
He carried Manny Pacquiao. I don't care what anybody say. He carried him. Yes, all he had to do was step on the gas, especially in the middle, the back end of the fight, where he's a younger fighter. He has more energy. He could have gave more effort because obviously he got hit with some straight left hands and he was able to take it. But it didn't seem like he wanted to. It seemed like he was in there to do a job, and that was to go the distance with Manny Pacquiao.
Isn't that mostly the job of every boxer that fought Manny Pacquiao? They try to stay away and go the distance with Pacquiao because they felt like, Tim, I think remembering days when Pacquiao was still in his prime, like a lot of fighters, they didn't come in there to win for against Pacquiao. They come in there to just to stand up for 12 rounds, and hopefully they get the win, and hopefully they didn't lose or they didn't get knocked out by Pacquiao. A lot of boxers were like that in the past against Manny Pacquiao. Now I understand where you're coming from again, but that's not Pacquiao's fault. That's Barrios unwilling to engage with Pacquiao. And I keep saying this time, and we'll keep saying this. Maybe it's the strategy. Maybe it's the strategy because they felt that Pacquiao would fade or really fade. Pacquiao did fade. I would agree with you at the latter round, the third round. That's why it became a draw. I mean, just going back to Pacquiao's reasoning why the performance is as is because he didn't have enough training. He said he had only 2 months of training for this fight, which is not enough. He was saying it should have been 3 months or to 4 months. But that was Barrios' fault. Barrios didn't come to fight. Barrios did come to engage. Barrios was very cautious. Barrios was respectable. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that Pacquiao deserves some credit on the fight. I mean, he didn't look the same. It looks like he could retire because we're comparing Pacquiao to the old Pacquiao, to the great Pacquiao, to the prime Pacquiao. Pacquiao is no longer the same, but can he still fight? Obviously, yes. Do I want him to fight? That's a different question.
Now, a lot of people is complaining about the judging. The judging was spot on. Best judges in boxing, spot on with it. If I scored it, I would have scored it for Barrios. However, the draw, because there was a couple of swing rounds in there, the draw was perfect, perfect. But damn, I would love to see both these guys' contracts, man.
Okay, so Barrios says that the draw was perfect. Initially, of course, I thought, being kind of biased to a Filipino, I thought Pacquiao won that fight. But after a few hours rewatching it, thinking about it, the draw is acceptable. Pacquiao was the challenger. Could have done more. I felt it's still a win for Manny, but a draw is acceptable. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't understand why Bradley wanted to see the scorecard. But again, it's not the new Pacquiao. I mean, it's not the prime Pacquiao. It's the older version of Pacquiao, which is like this. Okay, but I have no problem with the judges. I don't have any problem right now with the scorecard. I wanted to see a rematch. It's hard to let go, obviously, as a Pacquiao fans. But I still see that Pacquiao could still do it, and personally, I want to see the rematch.
You know, just like the Serrano and Taylor fight is similar in that fashion. Both these guys was in there just having a high level sparring session. That's all it was.
Okay, well, maybe that didn't live up to your expectation, but it takes two to tango. You compare Serrano and Katie Taylor fight. That was a great fight. I think they had four fights already. Uh, but Pacquiao wanted to engage. Barrios didn't want. So if there's anyone to blame with regards to this becoming a high level sparring, you should look at the other side. Pacquiao, unfortunately, couldn't close the gap the way he used to. Of course, obviously, he's not the prime at his age. But again, it takes two to tango. It takes two to have a good fight.
I was disappointed in both their performances, to be honest with you, man. So look, y'all can miss me whatever y'all want to say, man. The Pacquiao lovers, I get it. I respect the man as well, but yo, I gotta call it like I see it.
Hmm.
And that was a slower version, slower, even slower footed version of Manny Pacquiao. Seriously, man. And
I agree. Obviously it's not the same Pacquiao. So we have no questions on that team. And again, I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna say that it's the same Manny Pacquiao. It was a slower version. It wasn't the same version of Manny Pacquiao. But it was the general statement of Timothy Bradley that irked me a little bit. Uh, so let's continue.
he got hit with some shots that
I
usually in
agree.
the past he wouldn't get hit with. Period. You know.
Agree.
And so, and Mario Barrios, bro, where your heart at, bro? Where your heart at, man? Where's your determination at, man?
Okay. You see, there you go. It was it, Tim. That's where I agree with you. Again, it's maybe Timothy Bradley had a different expectation in the fight. Maybe it's Timothy Bradley that's living in the past, expecting the kind of fight that he was seeing Manny Pacquiao had in the past. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's not Pacquiao. Maybe it's Bradley. Come on, Bradley. 46 years old.
Bro, you fought like you didn't even want to be there, man. Seriously. Man, man, these young fighters and this mentality, man, that y'all got nowadays, man, I don't understand, man. Why y'all even fighting? Mario Barrios, if you can't beat a 46-year-old Manny Pacquiao, bro, you don't even belong back in the ring.
Ouch. Yeah, I would agree with Timothy Bradley on this one. Generally, I mean, if you look at it this way, I mean, I will tell you this, of course, as a Filipino, you cannot take away a little bit bias on me, but Barrios did not really. It's Barrios that did not live to expectation, right? And I understand why Timothy Bradley is upset. Maybe Barrios could have won this fight if would have fought with passion, real passion, and did not respect Manny too much. I mean, if you remember the fight, and if you've seen, there are times when the video, the camera is focused on the corner of Bob Santos and Mario Barrios. Bob had to remind Barrios not to respect Pacquiao. Did you see that? Did you caught that?
You should just go ahead and hang him up, bro. For
He's asking Barrios to retire. Okay.
real. Hang him up. But anyways, man, that's my time. And that's what I thought about the fight. A bona fide sparring session.
Bonafide
I
sparring
wasn't
session.
too enthused about the fight to begin with.
Okay.
If you want to give Manny Pacquiao credit, be my guest.
Okay.
Hey, give you credit. You went the distance.
There you go.
Yeah, you went the distance.
Yeah, but you went the distance. You give credit, and then you say Barrios is the weakest link. Just separate the statement, brother. It looks like you're coming from an angle of envy. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, but however, I'm gonna tell y'all, Manny Pacquiao should retire, man. Anybody, I wish Boots Ennis was there at 147 pounds. That's why you don't see him calling Boots or anybody.
Of course, of course. Because unlike other fans of Pacquiao, um, I gotta think about the kind of situation where Pacquiao is right now. When Sean Gibbons talked about having Rolly Romero and Tank Davis, most of us, at least personally for me, I thought Tank Davis will be too much. I mean, everyone else may be out of reach right now because of the age of Pacquiao, because the way Pacquiao fought, it's a little bit difficult. But Pacquiao is Pacquiao. Who would stop him? I'm just here to support him. And I did say this, for the people that's commenting that I hate Pacquiao for having him fight. I mean, who would stop him? Who could stop him? I mean, if he wants to fight, if he can fight, then he fights, and then I'll just here to support and just say it as it is. If he can fight or not. Obviously, you cannot argue with me because Pacquiao can still fight. If you're telling me that Pacquiao is not the same, then yes, because Pacquiao is not really the same. Pacquiao is no longer the prime Pacquiao, but can he still fight? Can he still win? I mean, you've seen the Barrios fight, right? I already said my piece. I mean, it's okay for Pacquiao to retire, but it's not. That's not for me to say. Even if I say Pacquiao should retire right now, I mean, who am I? But can Pacquiao fight? Yes. Can Pacquiao can still do it? Yes. Is it the same Pacquiao? No.
Else. I wish Boots was at 148. You would.
Should he fight Boots Ennis? No. Should he fight a power puncher? No, that's my perspective. But if Pacquiao wants to fight Tank Davis, if Pacquiao wants to fight Barrios or Rolly Romero or Boots Ennis, that's his call. Some of us, people would say Pacquiao may be hard-headed. Pacquiao may be living in the past. I mean, but he trains like he was in his prime. He do things. He trains. He works hard. He think like he could do it, and he could have done it in this fight. It's not Pacquiao's fault why Bradley thinks that this is a glorified sparring because Barrios doesn't want to engage. Barrios respect Pacquiao too much.
Man, destroyed. I think Norman Jr. destroys Manny.
Norman Jr. You know what, Timothy Bradley? If Pacquiao want to fight Boots Ennis or Norman Jr., obviously I'm gonna support Pacquiao. Do I feel like that's a good fight? It is a scary fight, and that's the reason why. And you obviously know this. This is what I understand, Tim. If you're in the situation of Pacquiao, obviously you're not gonna try and challenge those guys because those are dangerous. And you already know that we are at the age of boxing where it's not just a sport; it's a business. What makes money and what makes sense? What's too dangerous or not? You being with Top Rank and being a promoter's boxer, you know that. Even at the age of 46, even at the tail end of your career, you got to manage your matchups, right? Because at this stage of the career of Pacquiao, maybe Tim doesn't realize he could do whatever the hell he wants. He can fight whoever he wants. It's up to us to criticize or say, okay, that's not a good fight. That's too dangerous. But he's a legend already. He can do whatever he wants. And if people still want to pay, if Filipino people wants to pay and watch that, if the media still want to support that, if a promoter want to promote that, that's good money. Maybe you should come back. Maybe that's what you wanted to do. Do you want to get a fight with Pacquiao? Maybe. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
Back out. And I said, hey, and I'm just being 100 with y'all, man, for real.
I agree with you, Bradley. Those fights are dangerous. That's why we're not challenging those guys. We don't even want to, personally, again, I'm not Sean Gibbons. Sean Gibbons sauce, he's on the business side. He knows how to match make. Personally, I don't want Pacquiao challenging puncher like Tank Davis or maybe the younger guys like Boots Ennis or Brian Norman Jr. Yeah, because, they're young and they're strong. I'm not saying that Pacquiao is not. I'm just saying that, I understand what reality is. It's just that, the hate and the angles on how you said things, it make it look like Pacquiao cannot do it anymore. Pacquiao can still do it, not the same as he was doing it. I'm sure there's a lot of boxers, and I'm sure you would agree with me, Timothy Bradley, that there's a lot of boxers in the welterweight division that Pacquiao can beat. These guys are high level. However, whether you agree with me with or not, Barrios is a champion. Barrios defeated some high level boxers, and that's why he's a champion. So he's not just any other boxer right there that Pacquiao looks bad on, that Pacquiao looks not the same anymore. He's a champion for a reason. Yeah, he was elevated, but he beat a champion. He went in there toe to toe with other great fighters. Let's continue.
I respect the man, but at the same time, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, man. At the end of the damn day. But anyways, that's my time. Y'all wanted me to clap? Well, I'm here. I'm here, and I'm.
It doesn't look like a clap, Bradley. You should have separated the clap from the criticism. But yeah, I understand the style. It's YouTube. Maybe you want to follow Timothy Bradley on his channel. You clap, but I mean, this is more than just a clap, man. It the video is kind of negative for Pacquiao.
I'm clapping. It might not be what y'all want to hear. It's all good. But anyways, hey, type in the comment section. It is what it is, man. But
Okay,
anyways,
that is Timothy Bradley for you. Let me just pause this a little bit.
I'm out.
Timothy Bradley being real. And I want to go to the comment section right now. I know some of you guys are waiting for me to read your comments. Now it's time for me to read the comments. But generally speaking, after watching all of the statement of Timothy Bradley twice or thrice already, I've been thinking about how to answer these questions or this statement of Timothy Bradley. First of all, I just wanted to say big respect to Timothy Bradley for being brave, for being strong, for being real. That's his perspective. He has the right to say that. He knows better than me, and I'm just giving my opinion. So let's get that straight, okay? I am a nobody in the boxing world. Maybe in the Philippines, my voice have some weight, but compared to Timothy Bradley, of course, I'm just a whisper. But I gotta say my piece. I just didn't like the way he said the things. It looks like he's blaming Manny for the kind of fight that he saw, which is according to him a glorified sparring session. It doesn't sound right, right? So let's go ahead and read some comments right now. Let me start with Pururoy. Okay, sorry for speaking a lot English. Okay, Pao, ano masasabi mo sa sinabi ni Turmer na sabay daw ang pag-atras ni Manny? Hindi na katulad nung naglaban sila noon, pero yung pag-abante ni Manny ay okay pa. Yes. Again, guys, I mean, if you tell me that if your general statement is saying that Pacquiao is not the same as in the past, obviously he is not. What do you expect? What do you expect? I mean, I'm just arguing back with can Pacquiao still fight? Can Pacquiao still win? That's the answer to that question is yes. But is he the same? Does he have the same speed, the same power, the same everything? Does he have a better footwork? Obviously, it's not the same. Including this question, Pururoy. Nakatalpak yata si Barrios boss sa draw. Nagsabi siya na corner niya if nakakuha niya. I don't know. Pacquiao is gifted. Pacquiao, I mean, at his age, can still win. I'm leaving it that. People can say negative or positive things about Pacquiao. I'm just reacting to Timothy Bradley. All due again, respect to Timothy Bradley for saying it. That's his opinion. This is my opinion to his opinion. And it's as simple as that. I totally agree with you. I didn't appreciate his way of nonsense. Yeah, again, I'm just saying it as well the way it is. I mean, this is not about him as a boxer. This is about him and his on this specific opinion. I've watched a lot of his podcasts. I mean, a lot of his videos. I mean, I agree with most of them. But the way he said it, it doesn't look like a clap. It looks like an envy on Manny Pacquiao that could do it at 46 years old. He can still fight the way he can fight. Barrios retired the boxing because he couldn't react to punches. He doesn't know his defense wasn't as good. Barrios continued boxing because his defense wasn't as good, but he could still fight. His offense can compensate the defense. And again, I'm not gonna argue that because that's the truth. Bitter. Bradley is the first one who robbed the first fight. Yes. Ah, Channel TV says, and Bradley, ano ba yan? Bakit may pera-pera passion niya? Nga yan eh. Kasama niya sa pera. Oh, don't common sense na yan. Nagawa niya. For people that saying this is about the money, I think that's where you get it all wrong. Because Manny Pacquiao can get the money easily in boxing for just doing exhibition fight and not choosing to fight a champion and not choosing to fight, someone like Mario Barrios, who is still one of the top fighter in the welterweight division. So it isn't just about the money. It isn't just about the paycheck. Because if it's just about a paycheck, there are easy way to do this. And I'm sure you agree with me. Pacquiao can still fight, but only against fighters of his age. Leave the younger guns alone. Reg 1207, that is an inaccurate statement. Did you see the Barrios fight? Did you see that? Can he fight? Now answer me. Answer that question. From Pacquiao versus Barrios, which just happened a couple of days ago, can he still fight? And then don't try to come back to me that he's no longer the same. The question is, can he still fight? Did he not get a draw? Did he not get a draw? Now tell me, did he lose? Yes, he did not win, but can he still fight? Yes, he can. At least 2 to 3 fights pwede pa si Sen kasi wala siyang pinagkakaabalahan kaya kayang-kaya. Again, for people who saying that he's not the same, he cannot fight a Barrio, a Tank Davis or Brian Norman or Boots Ennis, obviously at this stage of his career, you have to as well manage his fights, his matchmaking. The same way as you manage the matchmaking of the younger guys or the prospect. You don't know shit about boxing, brother. You got... Tim Bradley knows this. If you manage a prospect's career with good matchmaking, you got to manage an old man's boxing career as well. A fight that's still exciting, a fight that's a winnable fight, a fight that gets you money. Wait natin, kakabalik pa lang naman ni Manny. Makikita natin yan sa ulit sa next fight. Okay. Boss Pao, palaming shoutout sa tropang farm na Narvaez. Lalo na sa boss niya na si Arnel Martinez. Okay. Halata na bigay ni Barrios yung laban. I don't know. We want Pacquiao to retire, not because he did not perform well against Barrios. He is great 46, but 46 is too old for boxing. We don't want to see him getting hit. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you that, again, you gotta understand where I'm coming from with this. All of the Filipino fans and everyone else that's listening, I'm okay with Pacquiao retiring. I'm happy if Pacquiao retires. I don't. The truth is, I don't want him to fight. If he fights, then I'll support him. Because he doesn't need to fight. Especially these guys, especially Mario Barrios, especially for a world title. Do you think there's really anything to prove? There's nothing else to prove. Tama naman, parang special ng laban. Kung tunay ka nanonood ng boxing, alam mo kung anong meron sa Pac members, parang sparring session. Tama si Bradley para sa akin. Yeah, but again, takes two to tango. Pacquiao probably couldn't close the gap the way he was doing in the past, but Barrios is to blame with the kind of fight. He doesn't want to engage that much. I mean, we've seen Pacquiao in this kind of fight before. We've seen Pacquiao chase his opponents, right? Okay. Pacquiao is a great fighter, but age is still a factor. Pacquiao already accomplished a lot. Yes, I agree. History, bro. Parang ayaw sa akin ni sakta ni Barrios si Pacman. Kitang-kita. It's not Pacquiao's fault. Pacman versus Jake Paul. Pacman, Jake Paul. If he wants money, man, this is it. Just get an exhibition fight. But Jake Paul is a real boxer nowadays, and he's too big. Maybe Conor McGregor would have been a great fight, but there's another other issues there. Barrios can KO Pacquiao if he wanted to. That's Bradley's point. Not everyone can bought money, and Pacquiao can get hurt if he fought against the likes of Rolly or Tank. Uh, Kai, yes, maybe not, maybe true, but again, that's Barrios. Barrios is the one that did not perform. I don't know. I just felt that it's coming from a hate perspective. Kung nga, bakit ay i-raise si Pacquiao buhay niya, di ba? So those people that saying it's about the money, why would he raise to this kind of fight? Just accept the fact that tama si Bradley. Tagal ka nang di nanonood ng Boxing Pro. May something talaga sa laban para may kontrata na walang sakitan. You wanna see the contract? Walang sakitan. Kita mo, bugbog na nga yung muka. What you talking about? Why are you talking about? And it's a draw? I mean, do you believe that it's a draw? There are rumors that I don't want to talk about that rumor actually, but yeah, why people don't get it? Of course, Pacquiao not the same 46 old people. Don't be stupid. Yeah. Kung gusto ni Pac lumaban o hindi o pera lang habol niya, ang masusunod kung gusto niya lumaban. Pero kahit ano man dahilan, still support Pacquiao. Pacquiao can do whatever he wants. Timothy Bradley cannot. That's the Pau, can I make a request? Can we look right now at the last 5 seconds of the 12 round? Man, it could have been KO'd cold like Marquez did on him. I couldn't show the footage here, brother. Again, this is just an opinion of mine, and I totally respect anyone else's opinion, including Bradley's. Just gotta react to that. I just felt like it's a little bit unfair for Bradley to be blaming it on Pacquiao. Pacquiao obviously is not the same. Lahat ng nega comments perspective from Boxer Retired, what is lang reason yan? Isa lang reason, hindi nila kaya ang ginawa ni Pacman. Yes, that includes Bradley. He couldn't do this at 46. He couldn't get the attention that Pacquiao is getting. In this day and age, let me say this. Let me just say this, okay? Bradley said that Pacquiao doesn't belong in the ring anymore. But what's the qualification for that? If you think of this, there are a lot of boxers that doesn't belong in the ring, or doesn't belong or deserve the attention. This day and age of boxing, and we gotta accept it right now. Now, the kind of fight that we're seeing, it's not really the kind of fight that there was in before. I mean, Jake Paul, those Canelo, Crawford, is it the kind of matchup that we really wanted to see? Right? It's about the business side of things. And whether Bradley accepted or not, Pacquiao still brings money. Pacquiao still business. So, does he belong in the ring? You answer the question. This is the what if question. And we can all talk about the contracts. They can talk about if there's any agreement and such. I mean, Barrios didn't live up to expectations. He was saying a lot of things. Just accept the fact, pal, that match is fixed. Barrios don't want to hurt Manny. Try to say that to the governing body. Try to say it. Come on. Wag nyo tingnan si Manny, old Manny. Tingnan nyo siya 46-year-old, 4 years layoff. Partida may ring rest, nakaabot ng 12. What if people just are not satisfied, just thinking like this? And now they're trying to challenge Rolly Romero and Doc Davis. You think that's gonna be fixed again? People just thinking of these things just to discredit Manny. He can still fight, and Barrios can KO knockdown. The truth is they cannot break Pacquiao. It's if they don't want to break Pacquiao, that's not my problem. Okay, you talk about boxing, you comment negatively against Pacquiao or my statement about believing in Pacquiao and in this fight as if you don't know boxing. This type of things happen in boxing. Takot din si Barros na mapuruhan. I would say that. I would say that it was entertaining and so enjoyable to watch. Manny's favorite boxer favorite. Yeah, man, people would say that they're not entertained. Must be crazy. I mean, you've been at the MGM Grand. You see the crowd. Everyone was shouting. So don't tell me it's not entertaining. Don't tell me it's not a good fight. It was, as best as we can expect for 46 years old. Fortunately, it could have been better if Mario Barrios would exchange and do more. So those people, including Timothy Bradley, is kind of just he's saying that he's kind of doubting the fight. Maybe there's a contract or something that they don't want to hurt each other. Could it be part of a professional boxing? Sir Pao, good morning. Kellerman talaga datingan mo the way you talk. Max Kellerman. Wow, ah. Yeah. Um, I got nothing else to say to Tim. I'm just reading your comments, guys. But I truly appreciate you guys being here with me and sharing or listening to my opinion. My opinion is as good as yours, but it's just I'm privileged to be having this platform, and I have this platform for a reason. I have followers for a reason. It's more than just hype that I say. It's more than just my own opinion. I know, and that there's facts in what I say, and that's why you're here. I have some arguments. I might not be right every time or all the time. Not all the time. I mean, most of the time, I could still make mistake, but that's me as a person. But I'm sure you're entertained, and I'm sure you see some facts, and that I'm objective in a way. I gotta defend my position. My position isn't always the best position, but that's what it is. Pwede yan kay Tank kasi magalaw siya. Yung nagsabing wala na si Pacquiao kasi mahina. Again, I'm not saying that Pacquiao is the best out there right now. He's 46. Can he still fight? Yes. He can fight, yes, very yes, but he's 46. He get hit a lot. Hindi ka pa ba natatakot sa paso mo? Yes, of course, brother Joseph po. Yes, again, some of you misunderstood or don't understand my statement when I say Pacquiao can fight, Pacquiao can beat the younger guys. I'm rooting for Pacquiao against Rolly Romero or Tank Davis. I would like to see that fight. It's a different statement from saying if I want him to fight or not. Obviously, you already know my answer to that question. I've been saying this that I'm okay if Pacquiao don't fight, and I'm okay with Pacquiao retire. He had retired, and I'm happy. And I didn't really wanted to see him come back. But do I want to see him fight? Yes. Do I want to see him? I mean, do I want to support him when he wants to fight? Just rephrasing that previous statement. Yes, of course. Is there anyone else from Philippine boxing that gives the same excitement to boxing than Pacquiao? No one. Maaring nangang napaya sabi daw di naabot ng 12 rounds. Pero yes, there are a lot of expert analysts that Pacquiao, they're discounting Pacquiao that he's not going to be able to last 12 rounds, that he's going to be real tired. Maybe Bradley is one of them. I do not know. You got to give him credit. Now that they're doubting the fight is fixed, come on. Mas exciting pangalaban ni Pacquiao sa ibang boxers. It's about legacy, like Manny said. Okay. I'm done with this. You let me know what you think, guys. You let me know if you agree with me or not. Again, respect Bradley. He's a legend. Maybe I got hurt a little bit. There you go. Someone agree with me, sending me 125. So, thank you guys. All right, hirap mag-type pa. Partida, boss pa, matangkad lang talaga si Barrios. Siya mag-decision kung pwede. Okay. Maybe I should just do live every time because, man, Bradley. Hell no, no one need him. Just watch John next champ. People still enjoy watching Pacquiao. Pacquiao doesn't even need to fight very tough fighters, and people will still support him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he can still fight all he wants. He deserve it. I mean, do I want for him to fight? I don't want to see him against Norman, Boots Ennis, even maybe Tak Davis for personal reason. But if he wants to fight them, I'm gonna be really scared. But can he do it? I think he already proved that. I think he already proved that he can. Is it dangerous? Of course, obviously it is. Okay, but I mean, he's expected to fight again. It's a good fight. Maybe Barrios just being be careful. He doesn't want to be knocked out by a 46-year-old guy. Yeah, that could be a better statement than Pacquiao is slow. Maybe, I mean, in the latter part of the career of Pacquiao, no one can deny this. Pacquiao has never knocked out anyone in the latter part of his career. Maybe Lucas Matisse, but it's not because he's not a strong puncher. Not all of them. It's not because he's no longer good, but because the opponents, doesn't want to get knocked out. They were running. They're also good. He's not fighting a nobody. He's not fighting some guy just to get knocked out. Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this. I think if we really want to give credit to Pacquiao, just give him credit without saying all of those things. Kung nag-comment ka ng negative kay Pacman, kaya mo bang ginawa ni Pacman for 6-year-old? Yeah. Well, that's a different story. We're not boxers, so obviously, I also understand that we cannot say that to anybody. Pac-Man is different. What's important is Manny Pacquiao, Bradley Calvo. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. All right. What's this? Bro, haha. One chance lang, 2 minutes. What's no, bro. Tonight. Let's continue this conversation tonight. I'm really hungry. I wasn't I was not supposed to go live, um, but I was inspired by Timothy Bradley to react live, and most of the time on this channel, guys, because most of the time I just do podcasts and convers. I don't do scripts. I don't do script like that. I just say it as it is. Of course, I have some bullet points so I don't forget what I'm supposed to say. Payday, not bad. Sir Pao, di kasi sinunod ni Barros yung key to win niya naging draw. Yeah, well, actually, um, he did do something. But gaya ng sinabi ko to sa inyo, I did say this, Pacquiao is not gonna engage. I mean, Barrios is not gonna engage with Pacquiao. Am I right? Pasalamat kayo kay Pacman. May na-content pa kayo. Bro, I got bullet points here that are tonight, brother Viper Twisty. I'll probably go live. Let's talk about this furthermore. Ang masasabi ko lang, wag natin pangunahan si Pacquiao. Here's my a few statement on this one, so you guys can understand. Guys, just like Bradley, right now, just like Bradley right now. Pow Salud, Powcast Sports. We're commentator, we're journalists, we're analysts, we're content creators, and we say things We say prediction. People say, wag mo pangunahan, don't say it in advance. Why? We're hyping things, we're talking about things, we want people to talk about this. That's our job, to react, to give opinion. Maybe wrong, maybe right, maybe too much for you guys, maybe whatever your opinion is. We're gonna keep on talking because it's a job. It's my job to keep on talking and talk about Pacquiao because you guys are interested. That's why you're watching. Okay, so sometimes sabi nga ni Aaron, nangunguna kami. Of course, obviously, that's a job to kind of steer things up and provide you with our opinions. So let me know what you think. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna have to say thank you and goodbye to you guys. But I didn't do intro, so allow me to share my outro. Before that, let me just read this one last comment. Kung malumpo naman si Okyao, hindi nyo naman alagaan bayaan mo siya at pasalamat kayo may content kayo. One more fight dapat mag-retire na si Manny Pacquiao. Next, pero medyo risk, may power si Rolly, kailangan nag-improve ka na. Okay, I'm gonna bro, I have to work tonight. Shame not with. We're gonna have a lot of contents soon, bro. But let me leave you with this. I didn't expect Pacquiao to come back, but I had some connection from MP that I know that he's gonna come back against Mario Barrios, whether he win or lose in the election. I was thinking after the fight, whether he win or he lose, I was gonna say that's it for Pacquiao. If he loses, obviously he doesn't have it anymore. If he wins, that's a good way to end your legacy, and that's a good way to end your career as a champion. But as the destiny would interfere, he went to a draw, which means I felt like it is an unfinished business. If you ask me, I would rather see him fight Barrios again just to close out that chapter. I didn't want to go and look for any new opponents, no younger opponents. I mean, they opened this chapter, it's still open. There's no decision so I would rather see him go back with Barrios than fight Romero or Tank Davis or anyone else, because I preferred to close that chapter of Manny Pacquiao in boxing with the win with Barrios than anyone else. That's as simple as that. So, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I know I've been speaking in English. I want Bradley to understand me. And Bradley, again, thank you very much. I'll hit you up or hit me up soon. Inquiry at Powcast.net. I'd like to be on your show. You can be on my show. Thank you, guys.
Are you ready? Podcast Nation! It started with passion, now it's a mission. It's our vision, unite the sports nation. And if you join me, let's make history. Unite for the love of sports, build a strong community. Oh! It's not about views, it's about the grind. The sacrifice, the heart, the power of the mind. You and I, we create a legacy. Take a photo, let's lock this memory. Here comes the boom, boom, pow. Powcast Nation, stand up now. Get ready for the truth, pow, pow. The pioneer, the original Powcast. Sports updates, join Powcast Nation. Powcast Sports #1. For the love of the game, I tune in to Powcast. Fearless and real, the show's built to last. Not insane, just a visionary. Taking over, gonna be legendary. Pride of the Philippines, we're reaching the top. They might see us struggle, but we never stop. Passion's burning, no hesitation. We stand tall, Powcast Nation. Here comes the boom, boom, pow. Powcast Nation, stand up now. Get ready for the truth, pow, pow. The pioneer, the original Powcast. Sports updates, join Powcast Nation. Powcast Sports #1. We got you covered from the root to the fruit. Basketball's life, even small we shoot. Boxing, MMA, we fight like kings. Warriors and champions, the world knows our rings. No matter the sport, we rep PH. Powcast fans. salita, it just sounds good. Mga bashes, haters, naghihintay bumagsak, pero tuloy lang, walang atras. Huwag kang makipag-debate, di mo kaya, makinig ka na lang, para tuloy ang ligaya. Powcast malakas, tanggapin mo na, consistent drip, kaya shout out muna. Here comes the boom, boom, pow. Powcast Nation, stand up now. Get ready for the truth. Powcast, the pioneer, the original Powcast. Sports updates, join Powcast Nation. Powcast Sports #1. Sports fans, clap your hands, stay motivated. Motivated. From PH to the world, stay elevated. Stay subscribed, stay tuned. Powcast is the truth. Here comes the boom, boom, pow. Powcast Nation, stand up now. Get ready for the truth. Powcast, the pioneer, the original Pow. Sports updates, join Powcast Nation. Powcast Sports #1. Powcast Sports, the #1 independent sports voice in the Philippines.
Powcast Sports. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.